Innovation doesn't scale by accident. It scales by design. Over the next 3 episodes, I want to unpack what that really means inside large organizations. This isn't about org chart or job title. It's about designing the system around innovation so it can actually survive inside a real enterprise. And that's not an easy one. In this episode, I'll focus on the foundation, authority, mandate, executive sponsorship, and how success is measured. In the next episode, we'll go into the operating model, how innovation moves from scouting to POC, proof of concepts, to deployment, and where handoffs usually breaks, because that's happened quite often. And in the third, we'll talk about the ecosystem, startups, partners, and how to design those relationships so they create a learning instead of noise. But none of that works unless the system itself is designed first. When companies talk about designing innovation, they usually mean structure, where the team sits, who reports to whom. That is the last layer. Design in practice means 4 things. Who gets to decide? What problem innovation is allowed to touch? How conflict with the core business gets resolved, and you will have conflict with the core business, and how success is measured. If any of those are vague, innovation will look active, but it won't move the organization. Let's start with sponsorship, because this is where many innovation efforts quietly stall. Innovation creates friction by definition. It exposes gaps, challenges assumptions, and competes with short-term performance. Remember, most teams are measured on the very short performance, either a quarterly level or yearly level. So innovation comes and challenges that. Sponsorship is not showing up for demos. That's not needed. It's owning what happens when innovation makes things uncomfortable. And we have the simple test for that. When innovation conflicts with quarterly targets, who decides? If the answer isn't clear, innovation already has ceiling. And if innovation never creates friction, it's probably not touching anything important. The next design problem is mandate overload. Many innovation teams are asked to explore new technologies, fix today's operational pain, and design future operating models all at the same time. Those are different jobs with different timelines and incentives. Design means making a choice. Either you sequence those mandates or you separate them structurally. If everything is priority, nothing is. Important to remember. What work this innovation team does not supposed to do? That's an important question to ask. If no one can answer that, the mandate isn't designed. It's improvised. Now, that brings us to the authority. Innovation without authority produces activity, not outcomes. 3 things must be aligned: budget, decision rights, accountability. If a team can start experiments but can't stop them, force a scale decision, or escalate conflict, pilots accumulate and momentum fades. Speed of experimentation matters, but speed of decision matters more. If uncertainty can live forever, innovation will never scale. Measurement and system behavior. Measurement is where design becomes visible. What you measure is what your system optimizes for. If you measure pilots, POCs, and excitements, you'll get more of there. That's not what you're aiming for. That's a byproduct. If you want innovation to scale, measure decision speeds, measure business ownership, measure a real process change, measure outcomes, ROI. Good metrics don't make people comfortable. They force trade-off. So, before we talk about roles, operating models, or ecosystem, this foundation has to be in place. Innovation doesn't scale by accident, it's scaled by design. This episode was about designing authority, mandate, sponsorship, and measurement. In the next episode, we'll design the operating models, the roles, the handoffs, and transitions that determine whether innovation ever reaches scales. And after that, we will look at ecosystem design, how to work with startups, how to work with partners without wasting times on either side. If you skip system design and jump straight to execution, innovation doesn't fail loudly. It fades quietly. If you have any question in the meantime, please share them so I can talk about them in the next sessions as well. See you again.